Welcome to Finance Made Simple. Today's explainer is really built for the absolute lifeblood of the American economy, and that's you. If you're running a small business here in the US, I'm talking about maybe you're an ambitious landscaping company down in Texas, a booming freelance design studio in Brooklyn, or a fast-growing boutique in Nashville. Well, at some point, you've probably had to stare down the massive and, let's be honest, kind of intimidating accounting software question.
And that question is usually, do I go with Xero or QuickBooks? The stakes of this decision are literally so high. We're not just talking about some app that sits unused on your phone. We're talking about the actual financial engine of your entire business. This software is going to handle everything from firing off your daily invoices and tracking expenses to ultimately being the one thing that keeps you totally sane when tax season rolls around. It's a huge choice, but hey, we're going to break it all down for you today. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to cover the big accounting contenders, ease of use and invoicing, bank reconciliation demystified, reporting for tax season, pricing and common mistakes, and finally, which should you choose? And we're doing it all in plain English with absolutely zero accounting jargon required. All right, part one, the big accounting contenders, setting the stage. Let's start with the absolute basics of what these tools actually are. First and foremost, both Xero and QuickBooks are cloud-based giants. And honestly, this is great news. It basically means everything lives safely online, so no clunky CD-ROMs to install, and if you happen to spill coffee on your laptop, your financial records aren't just lost forever. This really brilliantly illustrates the origin stories of our two contenders here. On the left, we've got QuickBooks. It's built by Intuit, which you might know is the exact same company behind TurboTax. It is incredibly dominant in the US market. Honestly, you could walk into almost any CPA's office in America, and there is a very solid chance they are running QuickBooks. Then, on the right, we have Xero. Originally born in New Zealand, Xero has been rapidly expanding its presence here in the States. It's really earned the reputation as the clean, intuitive alternative. Think of it this way. If QuickBooks is the traditional PC, Xero often gets described as the Apple of accounting software. It's sleek, it's beautiful, and it just gets out of your way. Moving right along to part two, ease of use and invoicing. The day-to-day reality. Because, look, feature lists are great and all, but what does it actually feel like to log into these platforms on a random Tuesday morning? Imagine you're running a busy food truck in Austin. You really just need to track money in and money out, right? You shouldn't need an accounting degree to do that. What's really fascinating here is just how differently the two platforms approach user experience. Xero is widely praised for its interface. The dashboard is incredibly clean, and the menus actually make sense to a non-accountant. It kind of just gets out of your way quickly. QuickBooks, on the other hand, well, it packs a lot more horsepower under the hood. It's deeply customizable, which is fantastic, but that sheer power can honestly feel a little overwhelming at first. It definitely has a higher learning curve if you've never really used accounting software before. Of course, the most frequent day-to-day task you're going to do is invoicing. Let's say you're a contractor in Ohio. You just finished a big kitchen remodel and you want to send that invoice before you even pull out of the driveway. Both tools are totally great here, and they seamlessly integrate with major American processors like Stripe and PayPal. But Xero gives you this incredibly fast setup with really beautiful, clean designs right out of the box. QuickBooks, while it also offers great templates, it really flexes its muscles with stronger customer management and deep client history tracking, which is absolutely perfect if you have a massive roster of repeat clients. All right, part three, bank reconciliation demystified, busting the jargon. Now it's time to tackle the most dreaded, jargon-heavy task that literally every single small business owner has to face. If you don't know what bank reconciliation means, here's the plain English definition for you. It is simply the process of matching what your accounting software says happened to the actual transactions on your real-life bank statement. It's basically verifying the truth. And let me warn you right now, falling behind on this is exactly how you create an incredibly expensive nightmare for your CPA at the end of the year. So, how do they actually handle this dreaded task? Well, Xero genuinely shines here. It uses a smart matching system that actually suggests which transactions go where, which turns a super tedious chore into a really fast, intuitive workflow. Many users say this is Xero's absolute best feature, hands down. QuickBooks, on the flip side, offers very solid categorization, but its real superpower here is its robust audit trails. If the IRS ever comes knocking and you need heavy-duty documentation of every single change ever made, QuickBooks absolutely has your back. Which brings us to part four, reporting for tax season, keeping the IRS happy. We've arrived at the main event for so many American businesses, tax season.
How do these platforms handle the actual data you need to keep the IRS happy?
First off, you can rest easy knowing both platforms can easily generate the big three. Whether you're an LLC, an S Corp, or a sole proprietor, your accountant is going to ask for your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, and your cash flow report. Both Xero and QuickBooks deliver these flawlessly, no problem at all.
But here is exactly where they diverge. Because QuickBooks is built by Intuit, it connects beautifully to the broader Intuit ecosystem, including TurboTax, which is a huge plus for a lot of folks. It also offers highly specific niche industry reports, like if you run a real estate business or a medical practice, for example. Xero, by contrast, focuses on providing really clean, standard reports that modern bookkeepers and advisors just absolutely love for their clarity. Okay, part 5, pricing and common mistakes, the true cost. Yep, it's time to talk about money. What is the true cost of these platforms, and what are the hidden traps you really need to avoid when you're looking at that monthly fee?
The crucial thing here is understanding how they structure their pricing. Xero typically includes multi-user access right across its plans. So if you, your business partner, and your bookkeeper all need to log in, you usually aren't paying extra per seat. QuickBooks, however, often limits users depending on your plan tier. You are probably going to need to upgrade if you want more seats. Also, you got to keep a very close eye on add-ons for both platforms. Things like advanced inventory or running payroll, those can significantly bump up your monthly bill, so watch out for that.
To save you some serious grief, here are the top 3 mistakes to avoid. Number 1, please don't choose based on price alone. Buying the cheapest tier only to realize it doesn't support multi-currency or inventory will definitely cost you way more in the long run. Number 2, consider your bookkeeper's preference. If you hire a pro who lives and breathes QuickBooks, forcing them to use Xero might actually cost you extra billable hours while they try to adapt. And number 3, never, ever switch software mid-year without a plan. Seriously, trying to jump from Xero to QuickBooks in October, right before Q4 year-end, that is a total recipe for an absolute data disaster. All right, part 6. Which should you choose? The final verdict. How do you actually map the specific complexity of your business to the correct software? Here is how we break it down. Xero is heavily favored by freelancers, boutique service shops, and startups. If you run a simple marketing agency or maybe a personal training studio, Xero's clean interface is probably going to be your best friend. QuickBooks, on the other hand, is generally the better fit if you have a growing e-commerce brand, you're managing complex payrolls with a bunch of multiple employees, or you're already deeply entrenched in the Intuit loyalist camp using TurboTax. You know, we actually love this quote straight from the Finance Made Simple guide. It's a brilliant little memory trick to impartially summarize the two. Xero equals simple and clean. QuickBooks equals powerful and detailed. Keep that in your mind as you evaluate your own specific needs. So don't over-engineer things if you're just starting out, but also don't underpower yourself if you're about to scale rapidly. Which software truly matches the complexity of your business today and where you plan to be tomorrow? If you want to go deeper into all of this, visit our blog at financemadesimple.blogspot.com. You're going to find step-by-step guides on creating invoices, full comparison charts, and honestly, so much more. And it's all completely jargon-free. And hey, if you found this explainer helpful, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on the tools that help real small business owners master their money. So we leave you with this final thought. If your business doubled in size tomorrow, would your accounting software break or would it scale with you? Ponder that. Until next time, keep your books clean and your cash flow healthy. Thanks so much for joining us.